Jurassic Galaxy, the world's leading astrophysicists had discovered a new planet for space exploration. The planet lay light years away from the solar system, in one of the most remote regions known. But signs of extraordinary life on its surface had compelled them to investigate further. Dr. Emily Carson was the leader of the science team. She had dedicated her 30-year career to the search for extraterrestrial life. This new planet represented a tremendous opportunity. If they truly found an intriguing life form here, it would be the most important discovery in human history. After a long 2-week journey, the team finally reached the planet. Their ships landed in a highly favorable region, where surface temperatures ranged from -15 to 25 degrees Celsius. Emily eagerly stepped outside to begin surveying the environment. What they saw was truly captivating. The planet had a structure quite unlike other known worlds. Instead of continents, there were massive islands, separated by shallow seas. The sky appeared vastly different from their home skies. A third moon illuminated the planet, and a strange red dwarf sun was rising on the horizon. But the most striking feature was the life on the surface. From a distance, there were moving giant shadows across the islands. Peering through telescopes, Emily realized the truth. These were truly massive creatures, larger than even the greatest dinosaurs in the fossil record. Incredible, Emily whispered, nearly paralyzed with excitement. These are real Jurassic beasts. As the team advanced towards their landing site, the sight that greeted them was even more astonishing. Up close, there was no doubt these were dinosaurs. Long-necked, huge-bodied creatures, lumbering and roaring, as if they had stepped out of the distant past. "No one will believe this," Emily said exhilaratedly. "The scientific community will be shaken to its core by this discovery." The team quickly set up a base camp, eager to begin their study of this prehistoric world. Emily assigned various tasks: geological surveys, atmospheric analysis, wildlife observation, and so on. They had to work quickly, knowing that their limited supplies and equipment would constrain their time here. In the first few days, the researchers were captivated by their surroundings. Enormous sauropods grazed in the distance, while theropod predators stalked the landscape. Flocks of pterosaurs soared overhead. The diversity of life was staggering, hinting at millions of years of undisturbed evolution. Emily spent hours each day meticulously documenting everything they observed. The biologists catalogued species, the geologists mapped the terrain, and the atmospheric scientists collected data on the planet's unique environment. It was a veritable Eden for scientists, untouched by human influence. But as the days passed, the team began to notice unsettling patterns. The dinosaurs seemed far more aggressive than expected. Several incidents resulted in close calls, with researchers nearly being attacked. Emily realized they would need to exercise extreme caution to avoid becoming prey themselves. One afternoon, while Emily was studying soil samples, a massive tyrannosaur-like creature emerged from the tree line. Its yellow eyes fixed on her, and the creature began to stalk forward, letting out a deafening roar. Emily froze, her heart pounding, knowing she had no way to defend herself. Suddenly, a loud blast echoed through the air. The creature flinched, then turned and fled back into the foliage. Emily looked around to see one of the security officers holding a tranquilizer rifle, a grim expression on his face. "We can't afford any more close calls," the officer said. "These things are far more dangerous than we anticipated. We need to rethink our approach if we want to survive here." Emily nodded solemnly. It was a sobering realization. Their mission of pure scientific discovery had taken a dark turn. Survival had now become the primary objective. As she looked out at the alien landscape, she felt a growing sense of unease. What other perils might this Jurassic world hold? Over the next several days, the team implemented stricter safety protocols. They reinforced the perimeter of their camp, deployed motion sensors, and ensured everyone carried defensive equipment at all times. Venturing outside the camp was now prohibited without an armed escort. The dinosaurs, however, seemed undeterred by these measures. Small groups would occasionally venture close to the camp, drawn by the strange smells and sounds of the human presence. The researchers had to be constantly alert, ready to drive the beasts away before they attacked. One night, a massive creature emerged from the darkness, its eyes gleaming in the moonlight. It was a gigantic sauropod, its long neck towering over the camp. The scientists watched in awe and terror as it approached, its footsteps shaking the ground. Just as it seemed ready to trample their tents, a volley of tranquilizer darts struck its flank. The creature let out a bellowing roar, then swayed and collapsed to the ground, narrowly missing the camp. "That was too close," Emily said, her voice trembling. "We're lucky that worked. I don't know how much longer we can keep this up." The team's sense of wonder was quickly being replaced by a growing dread. They had come to this alien world with the hopes of groundbreaking discoveries, but now their focus had shifted to simply staying alive. The prehistoric predators proved to be far more formidable than expected, and the scientists realized they were vastly outmatched in this primeval landscape. As time passed, Emily became increasingly concerned about their long-term prospects. Their supplies were dwindling, and the strain of constant vigilance was wearing on the team. They had gathered an incredible trove of data, but at what cost? One evening, as the team sat around the campfire, Emily addressed the group. "I think it's time we seriously consider leaving this planet. We've made remarkable observations, but the risks have become too great. We need to focus on getting home safely." The others hesitated, clearly torn. They had all dreamed of being the first to study such an incredible alien ecosystem. But the threat of the dinosaurs was undeniable. After a long discussion, they reluctantly agreed that retreat was the wisest course of action. The next day, the team began preparations for their departure. They worked quickly to pack up their equipment and secure their findings. As they made their way back to the landing site, Emily couldn't help but feel a sense of melancholy. This Jurassic world would continue on without them, a lost paradise untouched by human intervention. Just as they were about to board the ship, a thunderous roar echoed across the landscape. A massive theropod, its jaws agape, was charging towards them. The researchers scrambled to get on board, but one of the technicians was caught in the open, unable to reach the ship in time. "No," Emily cried, watching in horror as the dinosaur closed in. But just before it reached the technician, a barrage of laser fire erupted from the ship's defenses, driving the creature back. The technician made it aboard, shaken but unharmed. As the ship lifted off, Emily gazed out the window, taking in the breathtaking alien vistas one last time. She knew they had barely escaped with their lives, and that this Jurassic world would continue to hold its secrets. Someday, she hoped, humanity might return, better prepared to explore and understand this lost realm. For now, the Jurassic galaxy would remain a tantalizing mystery, its primordial wonders untamed and untouched by the hand of man.